Next on WVUA 23 News, it has been a beautiful Monday so far, but it's going to be a chilly night ahead. I'll tell you how cold it's going to get coming up.
And a one-day only free service to help protect your car from thieves will tell you how, when, and where you can get it. And the final phase of the Gordo bypass begins tomorrow. We'll tell you how long construction is expected to last. WVUA 23 News starts right now.
This is WVUA 23 News.
And I'm glad to be back with you tonight. I'm Jabari Pruitt. In tonight's top story, 2 arrests have been made in connection to an early morning shooting Sunday at Creekwood Village Apartments. Police say a 31-year-old male had been shot multiple times. Investigators say the victim ran from the scene to Westgate Apartments to make the call. Tuscaloosa Violent Crimes Unit and the Cyber Unit arrested 20-year-old David Waller at the 3rd and 32-year-old Tanisha Thomas. They're charged with attempted murder. Now, the victim, whose name has not yet been released, remains in the hospital in stable but critical condition. Well, Pickens County drivers could soon be forced to pay a new bill, one that could help keep the ambulance service running. State Representative Ron Bolden has proposed a plan to hold a local referendum vote on the tax tag. Now, if it does pass, Pickens County drivers would pay $15 more on the tag fee. Now, the extra money would keep the ambulance service running in the region. Those crews have been spending more time and money to transport patients since the local hospital shut down.
Due to the hospital closing down and a couple of other factors during reimbursements, the ambulance service had gotten to the point where they could not operate full-time personnel all the time. And we had long wait times, and we had the ambulance being out of service sometimes for 3 to 4 hours going to Columbus and to Tuscaloosa to transport a patient. It would approximately cover the cost. That's what we did. We looked at the cost and decided what level we wanted to try to set the fee at if they decide they want to do it.
Now, there is no timetable for when the plan could become up for a vote. We're turning our attention now to the weather. A very cool start to our work week. Anna Duvall in tonight for Chief Meteorologist Richard Scott with a first look at that forecast. Anna, good evening.
Yeah, it was a chilly morning this morning, but we're currently sitting at 73 in Tuscaloosa, and in those low 70s across the region. A little cooler up in Coleman, sitting at 67 right now. Tonight, we're actually going to get down to 46. Clear and cold outside, northeast wind out there, so a little bit of a breeze, but we're looking at sunny skies for the majority of the week ahead, and those cooler temperatures on Wednesday and Thursday, Jabari, so it's going to feel nice for the rest of the week.
Thank you so much, Anna. Now, gas shortage and mass power outages in Florida are hampering recovery efforts after Hurricane Milton swept the state last week. And misinformation and threats in hurricane-stricken North Carolina are slowing efforts there. Lee Waldman has the latest.
After back-to-back hurricanes ripped through Florida, people living there are struggling to sift through the debris left behind.
So much damage was already done. There was less for Milton to do.
Those efforts are hindered by gas shortages in Tampa, St. Petersburg, as well as Sarasota, where Milton made landfall. About 50% of gas stations have no fuel as of Monday afternoon, according to monitoring website GasBuddy. President Joe Biden toured the Tampa area Sunday to discuss recovery efforts.
FEMA has delivered 1.2 million meals, over 300,000 liters of water, 2 million gallons of fuel.
As of Monday morning, just under 400,000 customers across the state are without power, down from a peak of nearly 3 million, according to poweroutage.us.
About 75% of the power has been restored across Florida, and most believing that by the end of Tuesday, the vast majority will be online.
Meanwhile, in North Carolina, some FEMA teams are having to pull back on door-to-door outreach to disaster survivors because they're facing threats. In a statement, a FEMA spokesperson said, "For the safety of our dedicated staff and the disaster survivors we're helping, FEMA has made some operational adjustments. Disaster recovery centers will continue to be open as scheduled." I'm Lee Waldman reporting.
In a little sports news today, Alabama came away with a win on Saturday, but it was a close one. WVUA 23 sports anchor Stu McCann joins us live. And Stu, what did Coach DeBoer say in his weekly news conference?
It was mainly all about that third Saturday in October rivalry. He knows about those cigars, Jabari. He was asked about it. He said he knows about it. He's been doing his homework on the Tennessee rivalry. Number 7 Alabama heads to Knoxville this weekend to take on 11th-ranked Tennessee. It's introduction for head coach Kalen DeBoer and most of his staff to this rivalry, one of the most storied in the SEC. DeBoer says he's been told it's a big deal, and it's clear what this big deal game means for the players and the fan base.
You know, they're the big ones that are on the schedule. I mean, as a coach, they're all big, right, in different ways, and you take one at a time, but we certainly understand the significance of the rivalry, and, you know, guys are going to be very motivated to go out and do their best and prepare well and be great on Saturday.
Now, funny, strangely enough, Alabama offensive coordinator Nick Sheridan actually spent 3 seasons as a graduate assistant with Tennessee. So he's seen it from the other side. Now he's seen it from the Alabama side. Coming up in sports, Alabama is playing Tennessee, but lately it feels like it's been battling itself. Hear what DeBoer has said about finding ways to play better. That'll come up in sports. Jabari?
Stu, thank you. Another news tonight, Tuscaloosa County Sheriff's Deputy Tim Johns was laid to rest today in Tuscaloosa. The memorial service took place at the Tuscaloosa Memorial Chapel, followed by an honors presentation by the Law Enforcement Honor Guard in Tuscaloosa Memorial Park. Now, 62-year-old Deputy Tim Johns served as Brookwood High School's resource officer for 7 years and with the Sheriff's Office for 26 years. Deputy Johns also served in the Army National Guard for 18 years. Well, Governor Kay Ivey has ordered flags to be lowered at half-staff in Tuscaloosa County today to honor Deputy Johns. He passed away after suffering a medical emergency while on duty last week. He was loved by his community, his colleagues, and by the students and staff at Brookwood High School, where he was recently honored as the homecoming parade marshal. And a single vehicle crash Saturday night in Pickens County has claimed the life of 61-year-old Ricky Rice. Rice, who's from Aliceville, died when his pickup truck ran off the road and overturned. It happened on Franconia Road, about 2 miles south of Carrollton. Troopers say he was not wearing a seatbelt. The cause of this crash remains under investigation. And the final phase of the Gordo bypass begins tomorrow. US 82 will be a 4-lane corridor stretching from the Mississippi state line to Tuscaloosa once this project is complete. The 8-mile project is expected to last 2 years, and the Department of Transportation say it will improve safety, mobility, and commerce in West Alabama. Well, AAA Alabama is offering free vehicle identification number etching tomorrow for members and non-members right here in Tuscaloosa. The free service will take place between 9 a.m. and 4 p.m. VIN etching involves stenciling the VIN permanently and discreetly into the glass on all windows of a vehicle. Law enforcement encourages VIN etching as a proven deterrent to car theft, and it may even get a discount on some auto insurance companies. The process takes about 10 to 15 minutes per vehicle and is by appointment only.
Car thieves know to look for those VIN numbers on your vehicle. And if they want to steal your car and resell it, they can't do it with the VIN numbers on it. So they would have to replace every single piece of glass all the way around the vehicle. And that's a big hassle and a big expense for them. And most of them just aren't willing to do that.
The VIN etching takes place at 312 Merchant Walk, Suite 5A. Contact the number on your screen for more information and to make an appointment. Well, the Kentucky Festival of the Arts returns this week, but there are some changes this year. We'll tell you what to look forward to. And a well-known women's rights activist has died in Alabama. How she helped end the pay discrimination when we come back. And welcome back. We're joined by Exa Skinner, the Executive Director for the Kentucky Festival of the Arts. Thanks so much for being with us today. The festival this weekend, talk to me a little bit about what we can expect.
Well, the Kentucky Festival boasts nearly 300 visual artists, 2 full days of live music, spoken word performances from poets, authors, and of course, telling of Catherine Tucker Wyndham's ghost stories, Southern food from food trucks, just free activities for children, and some new interactive things for adults to do as well.
And this was the first year that it will not be at the normal location. It will be at Snow Hint. Now, what can we expect at Snow Hint? What is a little different this year? Now, walk me through what's new this year there.
Well, the biggest thing that is new that I think is really the jewel in the crown of Snow Hinton Park is that it is accessible to everyone. So if you use a mobility device, or maybe you're in a wheelchair, or maybe you're just uncertain on your feet, there are nice wide paved paths for everybody to walk on, and most of the artists will actually their booths will be on those paved paths, so you won't have to stray far from being on pavement, whereas in the past we've had to navigate some paths that weren't paved, that were a little more winding. So it'll be really easy to find things. We also have a new exciting sculpture installation that'll be in various places all over the park. So you'll have to show up to see what that's like. And in general, there's just a little bit more space. So you'll notice that everything's a little more spaced out.
And this, as far as like the artists, these artists are coming from all over the country, right?
Absolutely. We have artists from New York and Portland, Oregon, California. We've even had some from, that spend time in Mexico, and some are internationally known artists. And we have around 200 spaces or so that artists can apply for, and then we have around 60 to 70 that are invited. And this year we had over 515 applications, which is the most we've ever had before. So it's going to be very high quality art.
And before we go, starts this weekend time and all of that.
It starts at 9 a.m. Saturday until 5 p.m. and 9 a.m. Sunday till 4 p.m. and you can get your tickets at kentuck.org.
All right, excellent. Thank you so much for being with us. All right.
Yeah.
And some sad news tonight. Alabama native and women's rights activist Lily Ledbetter has died. Her family confirms she died of respiratory failure. Now, Ledbetter sued Goodyear back in 1999 for gender discrimination after finding a pay discrepancy between her and her male counterparts. Now, while she won the initial suit, Goodyear appealed and the ruling was overturned. Ledbetter was a major contributor to the Fair Pay Act of 2009. She was 86 years old.
we've had a beautiful day across Tuscaloosa. Clear blue skies out there. The temperature's at 73 degrees right now, and that's actually an 11-degree different than we were seeing 24 hours ago. Birmingham is in that 12-degree temperature change for the last 24 hours as well, but we're feeling very dry outside. It's feeling great. That 73 isn't humid at all, so it feels really nice if you're heading out the door, and it's going to feel like this for the rest of the week ahead as well. But as we move into tonight, 65 by 7 p.m. and as we move into those overnight hours by 10 p.m. it's going to stay clear, but we're going to be in those upper 50s, and we'll just continue to trend that way into those early morning hours, and we're just going to continue to drop throughout the rest of the night ahead. 7 a.m. we're going to be at 47 degrees outside, a calm wind, lots of sunshine throughout the day, but you're definitely going to need your jacket in the morning. It's going to feel like sweater weather outside, but you're going to need to take that off as we move throughout the rest of the day. We'll warm up quite nicely by 3 p.m. Like I said, lots of sunshine. We'll have a little bit of a breeze out there keeping us cool, but 72 will be our high for tomorrow. Now, if we look at our temp trend ahead, we're well below average through the entire week ahead. Our average is 78, so you can see we're going to be well below that for the week, and we're actually off the charts for our low temperature as well. We're going to be in the high 30s on that Thursday, so it's going to be quite chilly as you're heading out the door in the mornings, so you're going to need that jacket, but we're actually expected to warm up by the start of next week. So past our 7-day, we're going to be above normal in temperature range according to this Climate Prediction Center, so we'll be above that. If we look at our extended forecast, it looks like a lot of sunshine ahead, but we have these warm days but chilly mornings ahead. We'll start to warm up just a little bit as we move into the weekend and into next week as well. We'll start to warm up just a little bit from Saturday and Sunday up into those 80s once again, but those mid-60s, mid-upper 60s is going to feel awesome, Jabari, for the next couple of days ahead. It's going to be quite breezy out there, but it's going to feel really nice. It's definitely a big change than what we've had in previous weeks.
Now, I've been sitting here, been waiting for these 40 and 50-degree temperatures just so it can start feeling a lot like the holidays are coming.
Yeah, now it's starting to feel like fall
Exactly,
a little bit more.
exactly.
Yes.
I'm ready for Thanksgiving and Christmas to come right now because, the temperature's cool.
Yeah, all the leaves are starting to fall and change color, so this is perfect. Starting to feel more like Thanksgiving
Absolutely.
outside.
All right, Anna, thank you. Well, Stu McCann is back with us with a look at what's coming up in sports. Stu, good evening.
Hey, Jabari. Hey, Anna. Coming up in sports, Alabama men's basketball has reached heights it's never seen before, and we're just talking about preseason. And does rivalry week hold the key for healing some of the struggles for either Alabama or Tennessee? Find out what Tide coach Kalen DeBoer is looking for in practice. That's coming up. Alabama basketball will open the season number 2 in the Associated Press Top 25, the highest preseason ranking in program history. It should not be too much of a surprise. Head coach Nate Oates has already said this team has the best roster he's had since he got here 6 years ago. That includes last year's Final Four team. Alabama is the media pick to win the SEC with the SEC preseason player of the year, guard Mark Sears. Forward Grant Nelson was named a preseason All-ACC second-team pick. It's getting excited. The exhibition opener is this Friday in Birmingham. Good afternoon. I'm Stu McCann filling in for Gary Harris. The new Associated Press College Football Top 25 came out Sunday. Alabama holds its own at number 7. The coming opponent, Tennessee, was not as lucky. The Vols fall 3 spots to number 11 after needing overtime to beat Florida. The past 2 years has shown this rivalry still has some juice. In 2022, Tennessee kicked a last-second field goal, then fans threw the goalposts into the river. Last season, Alabama trailed by 2 touchdowns at halftime, only to win by 2 touchdowns. Head coach Kalen DeBoer is new, but knows the players are fired up. But it's not the opponent that's going to bring the necessary improvement. The lapses in execution have plagued this team the past 2 weeks.
The key is making sure we do what we do, apply our rules and everything that we have, whether it's offense, defense, special teams, and then be disciplined with it. And that's going to be the name of the game here, this week, every week, moving forward.
Kalen DeBoer and Alabama picked up a win on the recruiting trail, getting junior college defensive lineman Kevontae Henry to flip into its class, pulling him away from Mississippi State. Henry is a 3-star prospect who attends Cerritos College in Southern California. He's midway through his 2nd season at the JUCO. In 15 games, Henry has 13 tackles for loss and 5.5 sacks. On Friday, some of the local Tuscaloosa media got a look at the new Crimson Reserve golf facility for UA men's and women's golf. The $47 million project is high-tech, including hitting bays with swing technology and mechanical putting greens that can be contoured to different ways for slope effect. But as cool as those gadgets, the location is prime. Crimson Reserve is on Jack Werner Parkway, half a mile from the edge of campus. Director of Athletics Greg Burns says that is as big a selling point as any you'll find on the inside.
One of the things, and the coaches know this, a lot of who we compete against have to drive long distances to get where they're going, and to have it be literally, I'm 7 minutes late. When I left the office, 3:01. So it's not very far from the office.
Like we needed another excuse, Jabari, to want to go out and play golf for a lot of them out there. A 6-minute drive, that's just going to encourage more people to go out there. Work is not going to be happening around a lot. So that's just something I see in the future.
Right. All right, Stu, thank you. Stick around. We're coming right back. And coming up on the news at 10, we can expect cooler temperatures, which means people will be bringing out those space heaters tonight. We have ways to use them safely. And former Northport Mayor Bobby Herndon is expected to make a third delivery to Florida to help the victims affected by Hurricanes Helene and Milton. We'll have those stories and much more tonight at 10 o'clock. Well, go big or gourd home. A more than 1-ton pumpkin takes home the big prize in Colorado. Cole Higgins has today's. Take a look at this.
Take a look at this. Colorado firefighter Brad Bledsoe is great at growing gigantic gourds.
I officially have the title of largest pumpkin ever grown in Colorado.
The prized pumpkin weighing in at a whopping 2,083 pounds, absolutely smashing Colorado state records. The name of the plump pumpkin, Winifred Sanderson, after Bette Midler's character in Disney's iconic Halloween movie Hocus Pocus.
I put a spell on you, and now you're gone.
And so long to the Game of Thrones Iron Throne. A replica of the dragon-forged Iron Throne from HBO's hit series fetched nearly $1.5 million this weekend at a Heritage Auctions event in Dallas, Texas. While characters in the series battled throughout 8 seasons for the throne, for this replica, it was just a 6-minute bidding war. There were hundreds of other props and costumes fans bid on in the auction that raked in over $21 million. Speaking of costumes, check out these cuties at the Cleveland Clinic Children's Hospital NICU. Some of the hospital's tiniest patients have suited up to cheer on their hometown baseball team, the Cleveland Guardians, ahead of the 2024 American League Championship Series. For Take a Look at This, I'm Cole Higgins.
Well, they were rooting and had the hands.
That's right. Hey, it's not like it's something that's being forced on them either.
Exactly.
You know, they chose to be Guardians fans right there.
Right, in sports.
This is one of those crossover periods when you got winter sports. Like Alabama basketball is going to open the season number 2 in the AP poll.
Yeah.
You got Alabama football, who's still a top 10 team. Women's soccer picked up their first SEC win last night. They beat Texas A&M. There's just so much going on. This is the busy time. You thought last time, last month was the busy time. This is the busy time.
All right, now final weather.
Well, it's going to be perfect weather for all these sporting events. Lots of sunshine throughout the entire week ahead. But we are going to see those cooler dips in temperature, especially Wednesday night into Thursday morning. We're going to be in those upper 30s. So it's going to be quite chilly out there. This is starting to actually feel like sweater weather, fall-like conditions. So it's going to feel great outside as we move throughout the week.
All right, Anna, thank you so much. That's it for us. Have a great evening.
Greg Byrne just pulled up.
Okay, thank you.
Like he's in the thing. You'll see from the artwork. This is the number 9